First and foremost, thanks for taking a few minutes to chat with 782. So what does this platform do for you, for your career? There's so many, obviously all the boxing organizations work with different network groups now, but for you, work with Match, work with Dazn, what's it going to mean for your career?
Well, for me, it's going to, explode it to the top. This is a new network that is there's a lot of money being invested in it just for all the viewers that we're going to be having. They're gonna get the best of the best. When it comes to the fights, when it comes to the telecast, when it comes to the commentators. We already have Michael Buffer exclusively. But we have several things to offer. I think that the fans are really going to gravitate towards the Dazn. Some people say Dazn. I get to say it sometimes, but yeah, Dazn. And I believe that it's a way to the future. A new way of a sports entertainment. Looking forward to it.
Now, when you have a chance, when you're actually not fighting, not training, how do you watch TV? How do you watch sports? Are you changing your habits like everybody else is and going towards streamers and stuff like that?
I think a lot of us are. I mean, you switch over from Netflix to any application, any app that has sports to cable. But now, with Dazn coming out, I'm the first one on board. Of course, Dazn. Subscribe. You know what? It's very affordable. A lot of people, that's what they look at. They say, all right, well, how much is the cable? How much is Netflix? Dazn is going to be very affordable to any viewer that enjoys sports and entertainment, and I believe that they're going to get their money's worth. I mean, we have the first fight coming on September 22nd. After that, we have September 29th. Let me explain to you. September 22nd, we're going to have Anthony Joshua against Povetkin in a tremendous fight. And you're going to be able to see every fight that night, from the first to the last. That's a positive thing when it comes to the way they are marketing these fights and these shows, because you're going to be able to see some of the shows that sometimes we have fighters, young prospects that are fighting 4 or 6 round fights, and they want to steal the show, man. They're hungry to steal the show, and sometimes they do. Now you're going to be able to be a part of it, and to notice some of these up-and-coming bright stars. I think we have a lot of things going. And then, of course, you have October 6th, you're going to have my fight in Chicago, live on Dazn, and we have great things coming. I mean, we're going to have one of the top guys in the welterweight division that will be our opponent, and that's the plan. Just to go from there, continue to rise, continue to give fight fans what they want to see, which is entertainment and high-quality entertainment.
Now, in terms of your own career, in terms of your own fight career, you're one of those guys who tries your best to give the fight fans what they want to see. So you believe that the folks who are going to subscribe to Dazn are going to get you at your best every single time? You think they're going to get everything they expect from you every single time?
Without a doubt. More than they expect. Because I'm willing to go above and beyond for my fans, to perform for them. I've always said this, throughout my career, I've always said, I come to perform for them. I come to entertain them. And that's exactly what I'm going to do now through Dazn, live on Dazn, and it's going to be, an amazing ride. I think people are really going to enjoy it. I think we're going to have many more fighters that we're going to sign. You already have Maurice Hooker, great talented young prospect, young fighter that's already a world champion. You have Demetrius Andrade. I always say Andrade, but Demetrius Andrade. Of course, Anthony Joshua, myself, and several others. I'm looking forward to this enormous project.
Now, in terms of also getting ready for your fight in October, right now, where are you in terms of your training? Are you kind of taking it easy right now until you're ready to get into camp? Where are you at right now?
I'm getting ready to start into camp. There's different stages leading up to it. Right now, I'm in the first stage of just staying in shape and keeping the weight down. That way, the minute that training camp begins, we already have the weight down. We don't have any issues there, and it's just all about sparring, training hard, and perfecting the technique and perfecting the game plan, actually.
Now, in terms of also, it seems like so far in this time, you're very comfortable talking about this as a platform. You're very comfortable just understanding a little bit about the business and promoting it. Do you see yourself?
I understand it. They made me into a believer. When Eddie Hearn came to me with the deal, explained to me the platform, explained to me the ideas, for the future that include Dazn, matchroom boxing. I was surprised. I thought to myself, this is going to be an enormous hit, for boxing, and they're going to come in strong. They're investing a lot of money in production, the fighters, the commentators. and everything, So I just saw this as a great opportunity. I'm happy to be a part of it, and I think people are really going to enjoy it. We're going to have 16 shows in the UK. We're going to have 16 shows in the United States, and between MMA, boxing, and other sports that are being involved as well. I think people are really going to enjoy it.
Now, also one last question. I'm assuming, again, your comfort level talking about all this and sort of understanding the business of all this. A lot of fighters in between fights, they may commentate, they may sit ringside and kind of cover that stuff. Do you see yourself doing that, especially maybe with this platform?
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. I'm more focused on fighting myself. October 6th, I have my dates already lined up for this entire year and the next year as well. And you know what? That's my main focus. That has to be my main focus. On my off time, I'll take a few gigs here and there where I will be commentating on Dazn, we hope. And once again, all for my fans' entertainment. I like to entertain them. That's always been my goal, and looking forward to continuing that route.
All right, we'll stop this here. I appreciate you taking some time to talk with me. Best of luck in your fights, and
Thank you.
Look forward to seeing more of you.
Thank you, man.
I was just talking to Eddie, and I was asking him about the offer he made to Adrien Broner, and he says that he feels he signed the guy who beat him and who won that fight, and that if he invited Broner to come for the rematch on this network. How do you feel about that? What kind of matchups can we expect to see with you with the other, elite 147 pounders?
Well, Ed Hearn said it well. He signed the guy who beat him. And if he wants to do the rematch, which I'm on board, then let's do it. Let's do it through Dazn. But it's all up to him. I've been wanting the rematch since it happened. I told him we could do it tomorrow. I was serious about it.
Is that realistic though at this point? That is the biggest, that's the money fight for you, right? I can fight with Adrien Broner.
You know what? Any fight right now is a good fight for me because right now the welterweight division is stacked. You have to understand that. So anyone we pick, it's going to be a good fight. There's going to be entertainment. And that's what people want to see. The welterweight division is hot. And if it's not Adrien Broner, we have Keith Thurman, we have Manny Pacquiao, Spence, Danny Garcia. These are all fights that can be made. I expressed this to Eddie. I expressed my concern on how possible the fights were able to be confirmed, and he assured me that wouldn't be a problem. Once it came to negotiations, they had every resource to make it happen, and I believed him 100%. That's why I was on board. Not only that, he explained the entire platform. He explained to me the future of Dazn, and I was he won me over, and I felt and I feel very positive that it's going to be a channel that's going to be viewed around the world. Not just in the United States, in the UK, and Germany, and a bunch of countries. And I like that because I get more exposure. I get people to see my fights, and I'm going to perform no matter what. I'm going to continue to prepare properly. That way I give them excitement. But more viewers means a lot to me.
Prior to accepting the deal, were you given any notice that the Adrien Broner rematch was not going to happen?
I didn't have any assurance that it was going to happen. I was looking for the fight against Adrien Broner, but it didn't seem like he was interested in the rematch. I didn't hear anything back, and this is the beginning. And then when it came to Eddie Hearn and he explained this new deal venture, I was concerned in the beginning, and I expressed my concern to Eddie. I wanted to know what was the plan that they had for Dazn, but honestly, they won me over. When he explained the platform, when he explained the future of Dazn, I thought to myself, this is something that I want to be a part of. I want to be a part of this amazing project with great commentators, a great telecast, great production. There's a lot of money being invested in Dazn just for the audience, all the viewers. And I believe that they're really going to enjoy it. Not only are we going to have a great telecast, but we're going to have some of their best fights of the year. We already have Anthony Joshua against Pacquiao. You can't tell me you're not excited about that. And you have September 29th, you're going to have MMA. October 6th, you're going to have my fight, which is when I'm back. I'm back October 6th in Chicago, live on Dazn. So please don't miss out. Subscribe. It's very affordable for all of our fans, all of our viewers that enjoy sports and entertainment. It's affordable for them. to be a part of the Dazn, and you're going to be able to watch every fight from beginning to end. Whether it's the first fight all the way through the main event. Sometimes these young prospects that are hungry to prove themselves, sometimes they steal the show. So you just never know. And with us, you're going to be able to be a part of the entire show. We're going to have 16 shows in the U.S., 16 shows in the UK, and I quite honestly feel that everyone is going to enjoy it.
Are you still working with Al Heyman?
Of course, he's my advisor. I have Al Heyman, Guadalupe Valencia as my advisors. We have this. We're a team, and I'm looking forward to this next step in my career, and I'm thankful to be a part of the Dazn. I'm thankful with my advisors. They are guiding my career, and we'll continue to push forward. We're moving forward, and we're not looking back. Well, I can't say we're not looking back, but we are kind of looking back at the rematch like, hey, we're going to make it or what, but it's a fight that can happen.
Were you already talking to Eddie before or after Adrien Broner put those numbers out when he said Eddie Hearn made it?
Well, you know what? My advisors were in the mix in all of that. They were the ones taking care of it. Keep in mind that they negotiated my behalf, and at the end of the day, we made this deal, which I'm very excited for. I think that people are really going to enjoy it. Subscribe to the Dazn, whether you pronounce it Dazn, the Zone. We're all going to enjoy it. I mean, I'm telling you, it's an amazing project.
Is there any message you can
Not
give
project, because it's an amazing platform is what it is, yeah.
Is there any message you can give to other fighters that might be considering joining the Zone, joining Matchroom USA? I mean, what was it that pushed you over the edge?
Well, all you have to do is hear Eddie out. You hear Eddie out, you'll get a quick insight of what's to come, of the future of the Dazn, and I believe he's going to win you over. He has great things coming, and I'm sure he explained it to you through Fight Hype, through
ES News.
ES News, that's right. And you're going to know exactly what we have in store for you. But he's not letting out all the secrets just yet. There's still more to come. And I believe that people are going to be very delighted with this platform.
And one last question for me regarding all that. Were you surprised when Adrien Broner put those numbers out there? I think Steven Espinoza went on Twitter and said, "Oh, I'm surprised that Eddie Hearn actually thought those are the only numbers that Adrien Broner got," basically alluding to the fact that he got paid more than the numbers that Eddie Hearn was offering. Did that surprise you, Steven Espinoza said that?
You know what? In this day and age, not so much. Think about Twitter, social media. It's the way of the new world, right? I mean, things are changing, and the Zone is a part of it too. They're changing the way people are viewing sports and entertainment, and I believe you're gonna enjoy it.
You mentioned Manny Pacquiao as one of those opponents. When you were mentioning the elite 147 pounds, you were throwing Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia's name up there. I want to know, what did you feel about his last performance, and if you were to get back in the ring with him, do you feel like, looking at his last performance, that you'd have that edge this time?
I thought he performed well against Matisse.
Yeah.
He got a knockout win. Not too many people could say that against a heavy hitter like Lucas Matisse. I have to give him credit. He is now the WBA world champion, and he has high possibilities of making some of the biggest fights of the year. And now, with that being said, it's a fight that we can make. I knew that the first fight was entertaining. I think the second fight would be different. I learned a lot in that fight, and that is why I'm eager to make the rematch. If it's possible, I'd love to make it. And I spoke with Eddie, and he said definitely. He expressed how it was possible to make the fight, and we're first we fought October 6th, and then from then we'll go on from there. But it's a fight that we can make, and it's a fight where I can once again have a strap around my waist, as the WBA champion. But first he has to accept, and we'll find out soon.
Did he seem to have lost a step or anything in there? Was he the same Manny Pacquiao that you faced, essentially?
He surprised me with the speed. He was extremely fast. He was explosive. Apparently he was strong because he took Matisse down 3 times, in the fight. And for that reason, I'm definitely looking forward to this, to fighting him if it's possible. But we have a long list of opponents that we can fight against. So soon we'll confirm all the fights. But for now, October 6th. On top of that list,
just for you personally.
For me personally, Adrien Broner would have to be at the top of the list. because it's a fight that I want. I mean, I beat him once.
Sounds like it's personal.
You know what, man? A lot of these guys like talking trash, and we can do it again. You know, if he's so open to expressing himself, we could express ourselves inside that ring once again. Second fight would be Pacquiao, because I mean, you know, he's a fighter that is on my record. That I don't like the way it's blemished, so I want to make that correction. I like the rematch, but you know, anything is possible. We'll find out soon enough. I'm just the type of fighter that, you know, always wants to prove themselves. That's why I'm here, and I always come to entertain. I want to prove that I'm one of the most entertaining fighters of the world, you know, and that's the plan. I mean, I've always been very proud to hold that position as an entertainer, as a fighter that comes and gives it all inside that ring. That's what I'm planning to do in the next one as well.
One last question for me. Mikey Garcia's fighting Robert Easter next weekend. How do you see that fight playing out?
That's a good fight. That's a good fight for both. And you know what? The thing about Mikey is that a bit of his disadvantages would be the reach and the height. You know, this other kid, he's young, he's hungry, and he has several advantages. For that reason, you know, I think it's going to be a good, tough fight.
Is that height and reach going to matter though? Because a lot of times Robert doesn't really use it to his advantage.
But in the biggest fight of your career, you know, will you use it? I mean, you're going to try and dissect each and every aspect of a fight. You're going to try and come out with the victory one way or another. I think that this is a fight where he would have to really go back, him and his team, and really find the easiest way to come out with the victory. You know, because against Mikey's no joke. He's one of the best in boxing, one of the best in the world, and, you know, expect fireworks.
Can you change though? Like as a fighter, if you know you switch trainers and you have to start using your height and start using your reach, it's something that you haven't been doing in your past couple fights. Is that difficult to start doing? Like, is he going to get hit in the first round?
It's not. Listen, man. All you have to do is create a plan, have an objective of what you want to accomplish. If he wants to be a world champion, he needs to find a way to win, and that means making any adjustments to your style, you know, that you need to in order to come out with the victory, right? So that's what he would have to do. And for any fighter that wants to be a star, they have to make sure that they're perfecting their skill, perfecting their craft. And he's still very young. You know, Easter's very young, so he still has a lot of potential to do so, to changing his style. He doesn't have to, because he became a champion already with the style that he has. But if there's some things that you can incorporate, well, then why not?
Do you think Mikey gets enough credit for? Well, I know you just said he's one of the best out there. Does he get that kind of credit?
I think that his inactivity has affected him, but I mean, I think he's still getting the credit from the fans. It's just sooner or later, you know, he will win them all over.
Mikey's expressed interest in coming to your weight class, 147, and the name he's thrown out there is Errol Spence, which is, you know, seemingly the top dog in the minds of, you know, the boxing experts. Is that realistic? How do you see that? You know, being close with Mikey, sizing him up. You know, I'm sure you've seen Errol in real life. How do you make that matchup right there that he says can happen within the year?
It's a fight that can happen. I mean, if he says it, I mean, once a fighter names any opponent, it's a fight that can happen. I mean, no one is intimidated or afraid of anyone. In this sport, you can't be. You know, if you are, you shouldn't be involved in this sport. But with that being said, I believe that he's honest about him wanting to fight Errol Spence. The possibilities of it happening from 135 to 147. I mean, he's done it with Broner once. He can do it again, but we'll find out. I mean, I can't really speak for him, but I can say that he's serious about fighting whoever he mentioned.
Just from like an analytical way, is there even a feasible style that you can see that he comes out winning that fight? A lot of people, you know, just say that, you know, he's just throwing it out there to keep it as, you know, a headline basically.
Honestly, I can't give my opinion on it because, you know, first let's see how he performs against Easter, right? But then again, you have to keep in mind that going from 35 to 47, it's not an easy task. And for that reason, it could look risky, but can it be done? We'll find out.
Appreciate it, Jessie.